Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, the world. We got so many people registered from everywhere, from Ghana, from Nigeria, from France or Belgium, from South Africa, and from entire United States. Thank you so much, the audience. I'm telling you, today is going to be off the chain. I have the lens with me, and they're about to bring it. Okay, so they will talk about their life. They will let you go beyond the curtains, how they work so well together now, what was the process, what's still a process today, and the power of understanding your purpose in life, and how it can lead you to the right relationships and everything else. So without any ado, Valence, can you introduce yourself, where you're from, and then we're going to start with your questions.
The Lanes, we are on. We are live. We are ready to rock, man. What's up, brother?
I'm good. I'm good.
First of all, man, I just want to thank you for having us on your live webinar, man. We've seen you doing some tremendous things. We've seen some of the couples that you've had on, and we feel honored to be even in the company of some of the guys that you've had on this show, man. Good stuff, good stuff.
Thank you.
I'm Brian Christopher, CEO of Restorable Entertainment. This is
Corinne Deanna.
My last name is not Deanna. My last name is Lane.
All right, Corinne Lane.
Okay.
You guys are on the chain. I like that. I like
Deanna. But yeah, Corinne Lane.
Okay, Deanna. But we are actually both from Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes.
Here in Atlanta doing our thing, man. From Cleveland, but Atlanta pays us, man. You know what I'm saying? Cleveland raised us, but Atlanta pays us. Let's
I
get
like that. That's great. Okay, so our audience want to know, like, how do you guys, find each other? How do you guys meet?
Wow.
Well, we met in 9th grade. We were 15 years old. We were in English class when we met.
She was choosing.
No, I totally was not into him at all, period, whatsoever. We were like totally opposites, like I was like the straight A student, honor roll, stuff like that. He was like the straight F student.
Yo!
Doing all kinds of stuff. And
I was building testimony, man, building testimony.
Anyway, every day he would give me his pager number. That's when, you had beepers, you had cell phones and stuff. So he would give me his pager number every day, and I would like push it off my desk on the floor, but he consistently gave me his pager number every day of our 9th grade year.
Consistency is the key to breakthrough. Consistency is the key to breakthrough.
But look, this is what got it, because like he was like, he's kind of like a thug-like type, he had like the braids and the saggy jeans and stuff like that, and I just like wasn't into that. So one day I was like, man, I bet this will get him. I'm going to tell him to cut his hair.
Okay.
I was like, if you cut your hair, we can go out. I'll date you. But I knew he wasn't going to do it. I was like, yeah, right. He's not going to cut his hair. This was like a Friday. So he came back on Monday, bald head.
Wow.
Feel tight.
He totally, like his hair was like probably like to his shoulders or past that. And he cut his hair off bald. And after that, that was it.
Okay. So now I'll tell you the real story.
I was pretty much, that's when I saw stars in my eyes, like, oh my gosh, I think he really likes me, for real, for real.
Yeah. Okay, the parts that are true. We were in 9th grade.
Oh, that's true.
We were in English class. We were watching a brand new movie. It was a brand new movie that just came out. It was called The Lion King. You might remember that.
Yes.
But, this is the first time I noticed her. We was watching The Lion King, and she was a very studious student. So she was right up front. She laid on the floor with the other, for lack of a better term, with the other nerds.
Don't call me a nerd.
They all laid up front on the floor. And I looked down, and I got the first glimpse of what, okay. She was nice.
Oh my God.
Nice. You know what I'm saying? I looked down, I said, yo, she kind of stacked. You know what I mean? But okay, first of all, she definitely was not my type, and I was not her type. As she said, I was a little bit on a different course than what she was on, and she was definitely not the type of female that I would normally go after.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of into what was called back then hood rats. See, now they call them ratchet, but back then it was a hood rat, and she was completely not that. You know what I mean?
Not
So, you know, like she was saying, I was definitely handing her my beeper number, and she would rip it up, throw it on the floor. I would hand it to her again until one day I got the ingenious idea to give my beeper number to every girl in the class. So she had to take it because every girl in the class was taking it. Now, this is a little game that, you know, it may not be used now, but back then it worked. And that's how I caught.
That did not work at all. I still ripped the number up. No, we didn't talk until after you cut your hair.
Okay, I cut my hair, and I took her from her boyfriend.
You did take me from my boyfriend.
Okay, wow.
No, but this is how he did it.
I was active, man.
Because me and the guy I was dating at the time, we were like broken up. So he comes to the rescue like, y'all should get back together. I don't know why y'all ain't together. That's just crazy, man. Y'all should just. And then I was looking at him like, that's weird because you give me your number every day.
He's such a good guy. And
so then I thought he was a good guy. I'm like, well, maybe he's a good guy underneath all of that other stuff.
Hello. So that is the beginning. That is the connection. That's where we first met. It was 9th grade, high school. We had some great times all throughout high school sweethearts. We went through a lot. She went, you know, to certain neighborhoods with me. She was in the streets with me here and there, but she also kept me out of a lot of trouble, man, because you know the type of person she is and was, the type of female she was back then. She kind of distracted me from a lot, and I think she really did keep me from some of the things that I could have got into real easily.
That's good. I like that. So now let's go straight to the meat. How did you guys discover your purpose? How you found out, you know what, this is what I've been called to do, and this is what I'm going to pursue, and how it affect your relationship? Whoever want to go first.
What you do now?
I'm an artist. I'm a recording artist. I'm also a songwriter, and I'm also in full-time ministry. So I would say that when I discovered my purpose, it's like I've been in this industry, in the music industry, for a long time, since the age of 4. But when I was, you know, pursuing music, you know, at that time, I didn't think of it as a purpose. Like, it was just a part of me, and it was just something that I knew I did. I knew I did it well, and it was a passion for me because I continued to pursue it all of my life. You know, I went from being managed by my parents to managed by my mother. Now I'm managed by my husband. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I knew that it was a passion that was in me, but I didn't know it was my purpose until I got saved. You know, like for real, probably within the last maybe 5-6 years. So I've gone my whole life doing music and, you know, singing and songwriting, but
deal to deal,
record deals and publishing deals and all kinds of stuff, and didn't realize what it was. It was just something I kept pursuing. I didn't know why I was pursuing it until I got saved. That's when I knew the reason why I sing, why God gave me this gift, why He gave me this gift to write. So that was probably within the last 5-6 years. So it hasn't been like a whole lifetime thing. I really came just now coming into this, like 5 years ago.
Okay, great. What about you, Brian?
And even in that, kind of following up, man, one thing I think purpose is something that, of course, it's always there, but I think we have to realize our purposes. Until we realize our purpose, certain things can just feel like it's a hobby or a passion. Because, you know, hindsight is 20/20. Because I look back on my life and I now see everything that I was purposed to do and how it led to what I do now. You know, right now, like I said, I'm CEO of Historical Entertainment. I'm also a recording engineer. I'm also, you know, I'm full multimedia, so audio, video, graphics, and I do that full time in ministry as well. But when I look back at my life, I see all the things that led up to preparing me for what I do now. all the way back to recording on a karaoke machine in my bedroom, you know, starting out wanting to be an artist, wanting to be a rapper, and recording my vocals on a tape. And then to double up the vocals, I take the tape out one side, put it in the other side, and double my vocals that way. You know, and it was, you know, even from recording songs off the radio and writing lyrics from songs, you know, back when music was fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But,
you
know, it was just something that was always in me, man. And as I got older, my vision became a little clearer. That's when Master P and No Limit, you know, they dropped and they changed the entire music game completely. They kind of showed everybody that we could do it independently.
Yes.
So that was like my whole aim, my whole focus. That was like 1999 when I left Cleveland. But, you know, the whole plan then was to come back to Cleveland, start a record label. I had a building where I was going to put the studio. I had all my friends that I was going to sign, and I told them this is the plan. I'm going to go to the military, then I'm going to go to this school called Full Sail University. And then once I graduate there, I'm coming back here, and I'm going to save everything. You know? But, you know, of course, you know, things change as you begin to grow and develop within your process and really start to realize what your purpose is, man. So nevertheless, I have accomplished some of those things, but in a different place than I thought I would.
Yeah.
Wow, good. Before I ask you the other question, I'm going to give a shout out to people in the chat room.
Yes.
To Leroy, Poppy, Janela, James, Nicole, Stephen, Garland, LaKendra, and Cherry.
Man, shout out to the chat room. What's up, y'all?
And remember, you know, stick around because by 9:35, 9:40, you're going to be able to ask them questions about relationships.
You'll get to the bottom of what it is.
Everything. So, you know, my next question would be like, how do you balance, you know, ministry, entertainment, business, family? Because I know you guys are a couple, you got children. How do you manage all that together?
Man. It's a daily walk. I tell you that. Because it's like, you know, for us, because we're married, and then we have a music business. You know, we have a record label, and then we're in full-time ministry. So it's like we literally together in ministry, and then we come home, and then we're together in the studio, and then we're together as a family with kids. So we spend a lot of time together.
Yeah. I think one thing that I had to learn was how to not balance, but actually harmonize life.
Mm.
And what I mean by that, well, number one, having a record label with 6 signed artists, Restorable ENT. You can go to restorableent.com, check out the artists, listen to music, all that good stuff. But having 6 signed artists, that's more than a full-time job. Having a media company, Restorable Media Solutions, that's more than a full-time job. Having being involved in ministry as heavily as we are, that's more than a full-time job. And then being a father and being a husband at the same time, more than a full-time job. One thing that you know, I did struggle with that at times. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it was easy. Catching the rhythm of this thing, but when I realized that everything that I do is literally bigger than me, literally it belongs to God. Every gift that's in me, every talent that's in us, every endeavor that we have our hands in, that is actually God's. He owns it. Like, that took the pressure off of me, man. And I was like, you know what? Everything has automatic success because it belongs to God. And Jesus is the mission. So I think when I realized that, and I began to think of my life as a harmony instead of trying to juggle this, juggle that, juggle this, and just, you know, just understand that, man, God is in control and success is ours.
I think that once we realize that, because I think, like he said, juggling or trying to, you know, usually if you work together, you try to separate, like, well, I'm going to cut this off. Well, once we're done with ministry, we come home and then we cut that off. We cut ministry off so we can focus on family, or we cut family off so we can focus on business. That, to us, in our life, in our lifestyle, that's not realistic. You know what I'm saying? Everything is going on simultaneously.
Yeah.
So we had to realize that, okay, well, there's another word that that we're going to use for what we do, because the idea of trying to cut things off wasn't working for us. When we were trying to do that, that wasn't working. So we were like, it's got to be something more. It's got to be something bigger. Like, all of these things have to be able to work together, because this is how we were created. This is how, we came together, and this is our mission, So it has to be another word, and that's where he, used the word harmony. Everything has to come. We have to be able to harmonize our lives. Our lives have to be synchronous.
That's right.
It has to be like a synchronization. There is no cutoff. When you know what I'm saying? It just has to work. All of it has to work together, and it does when he's at the head of it.
And you know what? I think, and that reminds me, one day, literally, God gave me a vision of a couple dancing. And it was a very in sync dance. It was a very technical dance. Each person knew the next move of the next person. And when I got that, I came to my wife and I said, you know what, babe? We have to learn to dance. Mm-hmm. We have to learn to find our rhythm of life. Meaning, when I step, I'm stepping. When she steps, I know she's stepping. So anytime we go out and pursue anything, hey, man, we're dancing. Even when we're in our personal time and we get into a little argument, hey, we got to dance. Now, one thing about the dance is sometimes she wants to dance, and I don't want to dance. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, babe, this needs to happen, this, and this. And I'm like, nah, I'm not on that. But then, I'll come back a few minutes later and say, you know what? I know we need to be in sync. We need to be in that rhythm, and we do need to dance. So I'm not saying it's easy. And if you ever try to tango or cha-cha,
you step on toes.
It's hard. You step on toes. Some people get elbowed in the ribs. You know what I'm saying? You're out of breath. So the dance it's a challenge, man. It's a challenge. That beat will keep coming. Yeah. Boom, 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 and you'll catch that rhythm.
Okay, that's so powerful. I like what you said about imagery of dancing. That's a great way to harmonize and work together. I like that. It's so powerful what you said. And my next question is so powerful. I believe it's one of the most important questions of this interview. What type of advice you will give somebody now if you knew what you know back then? Like what type of advice you would give your younger self? Let's say it like that.
Me, me.
Well, I think
younger Corinne. What would you say?
I think I would tell myself, gosh, that's an in-depth question, because it can either be, make sure that you're making, decisions. Make sure you're not making like impulse decisions. You know what I'm saying? Based on what you think you feel, or how you think something is supposed to go, or how you think it's supposed to turn out. Because a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, that's not really the result you're gonna get. So if you're making impulse decisions, I would say my decision making would be a lot more clear, a lot more thought through, a lot more thought out, instead of making either emotional decisions or something that I fantasized about or thought was supposed to end up a certain way, because it'll protect you from a lot of things, a lot of stuff that just shouldn't have happened in a certain amount of time. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it is.
It makes perfect sense, and it's scary because you said better decisions. Would you still be with?
I'm not saying whatever. I'm saying because kind of how we skimmed over. There were parts of our lives where he went to the military, I went to college. So we spent a lot of time apart, and with us coming back together, there were a lot of decisions that we made in our lives as individuals that we didn't really weigh out all the options, or we didn't really consider, how it would affect us, how it would affect other people, how it would affect family, stuff like that. So I think that with I would have thought things through, you know what I'm saying, instead of making impulse decisions based on emotions or how I thought something would turn out.
That's serious.
Wow. And what about you, Brian?
Yeah. What would I say to young Brian Christopher? First of all right, let me stop. I was about to go there.
No.
But, okay. No, seriously, though. I would say, look, man, be yourself from the beginning. Don't wait till later to be the true you. You are who you're supposed to be now. You're supposed to sit with nerds in the lunchroom. Okay? Stop cutting class, and I need you to be who you are, man. I think, you know, when I was young, I was actually put in gifted classes when I was in junior high school, and I literally did everything that I possibly could do to get out of those classes because I was more concerned with my reputation. I was more concerned with popularity and what others thought of me. I would say to that young man, hey, stay where you need to be, because who knows where you would be now. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I don't take anything away from our past and the processes that we've been through because, hey, man, we changed one thing, who knows what else would have changed. Yeah. Like she said, we were apart for 6 years, and we lived a lot of life apart, man. Mm-hmm. And when we came back to this relationship, with a lot of new baggage. Mm-hmm. You know, some of it was Louis Vuitton, some of it was Walmart bags.
I like that.
Baggage that we carried, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man. So I think that's probably where I would start.
Wow, that's so powerful. So now, you know, both of you guys are in the music business. What type of advice you will give somebody who's Christian or not, try to get in the music business today?
Mm-hmm. Be prepared to work. The music industry has changed so much compared to what it used to be. Be prepared to build your brand. Be prepared to develop yourself before you come to the table. Mm-hmm. The industry is not in the business of developing artists anymore. You know, when you come to the table, they expect you to have a following. They expect you to have a fan base. They expect you to have records recorded already. You know, back in the day, you didn't have any of that. You came, you got the budget, they spent the money on it, and that's how your brand came about. But now you have to come with a solid brand, solid fan base. So I would say right now, be prepared to work, be prepared to put in the long hours, and be passionate about what you're developing. Yeah. Create a culture. You know what I mean? What I mean by creating a culture, create something that people can relate to or identify in when it comes to your music or your brand. Just, you know, full speed ahead on your part, on your terms. So.
I would say passion as well. Passion is probably the number one for me. And it took me a long time to get there, you know, because I chased fame so long, I chased money so long, and realized that that doesn't last long, you know, that little thing of, you know, trying to be famous or you trying to, you know, get a check, that ain't it. Mm-hmm. And if that's all that you're in it for, then you're not passionate to be in it. You just, you know, want people to, you know, you want to be famous or you just want to be rich. And that's not the passion of this business. That's not how this business works. You definitely it has to be a part of you. It has to be something that you would do for free or you would do for a check. So yeah, my main thing would be passion. Be passionate about this, and don't make it about money and about being famous, because that's the number one thing. If it's more about you being famous and about money, you're probably not passionate about music. You're just trying to be seen for a little bit, and then that's how long it'll last, a little bit.
For longevity, man. And you know what? If that's your mission and that's your aim, then go for it. But if you're here for longevity, man,
that ain't it.
You got to build your brand. You got to build your mountain. The one thing I always say, you know, even with all of our artists, that we have to have a mountain underneath our island. Meaning our island is what the people see on the surface. The island is what, you know, people encounter initially. But once you go beneath the surface, what's beneath there? What's supporting your island? What's your mountain? So, you know, when you're in it for longevity, man, you got to have a mountain under your island. So That's what we aim for.
I think to speak too on the Christian side, because we, I pursue music on, I hate the word secular, so we always just say, either for the world or not for fame, or pursuing it for fame, and then now it being about Christ and being about saving lives and it being about people and changing lives. It's still a business. You know what I'm saying?
Business.
Regardless of if it's you're chasing fame or you're chasing the world or whatever, or it's on the Christian side, it's still a business. It doesn't change just because you decided I'm gonna do this for Jesus. So for some reason, I don't know why, but on the Christian side of things, for some reason artists think that that's the lesser when it's supposed to be the greater.
It's the greater.
So sometimes certain things are taken away, like your quality control. You're not so, you don't have people around you that are giving you real opinion. They're just saying, yes, it's great, it glorifies God, so it must be good. And that's just not, what I'm saying? That's not, what I mean? Because you're still after the consumer. You're still trying to go after the people. You're still trying to get the people to like you. You're still trying to, what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, they have to like you first. And then you direct them to Christ. But if they don't like you, then it's like your mission is pointless. So
he's talking to a wall.
So you gotta have quality control, and it's still a business on the Christian side of things. Don't get that twisted at all. It's not just about, oh, we do music and we do it for God now, so we're just gonna put out some songs and it's gonna be great because He blessed it. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's anointed to do it, and that's just real.
Hey, you're messing up the game for the rest of us.
Yes.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like not everybody's anointed to do it. Not everybody's called to do it. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's just, I don't know.
Yeah,
I believe that's what we are talking about off camera. I believe that is an education problem. I go to the same problem when I try to do business with some churches.
Mm-hmm.
Because of your lack of education. Business size when it comes to the standard of rules of operation of a business, business model, a business system. You don't have those basics, so therefore you're going off assumption, from one assumption to another. And when you open your eyes, it's too late. You're not in a dream no more. You're in a nightmare, and you don't know how to come back out because you never took the time, like Brian said earlier, to build your mountain of information and to have what we call tested knowledge. That's the wisdom of God. So if you never test what you think you know, you don't know. You just heard about it. So you have to acquire that knowledge and test it in a marketplace. So therefore, he said, you know what? This is tested knowledge. I did it, and this is how it's supposed to work. And most people, they don't do that in the Christian community. They're praying and they're going, say, oh, it's going to work, or it's Jesus. I met a lot of people, I want to write a book. I said, okay, do you have a budget? Budget? How are you going to sell your book? You need marketing, we need a system. So I believe that's the same thing.
That's kind of one of our golden rules, even with my media company, and my partner can attest to this. We have two words. One is a B word and one is a D word. First one is budget, the second is deposit. So if you don't have those words, then we can't move forward at this time.
That's it.
You gotta do business. You still have to do business.
That's what sucks, because you think you in the church, you know what I'm saying, you just automatically assume that people are going to just do stuff for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are led to do things, or hey, the Holy Spirit told me to do this, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. But everything ain't a Holy Spirit led thing, or you know what I'm saying, everything ain't just like, I expect you to do this because you're a Christian and you should. Mm-hmm. That's not business. That's not. Jesus did business.
He did major business.
He didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, like let's not get it twisted. Just because we're Christians and we love God and everybody, you know what I mean? Like,
even in that, when Jesus walked the earth, they said what followed him everywhere he went? A multitude. A multitude doesn't follow anyone doing bad business.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it, man. I mean, what you're saying is the truth. Okay, let's go to the next one, and that one is so powerful, and we're gonna talk a little bit about more details. What about the advice that you have to give a single man or single woman? And then I want you also to let people know how long it took to when you start dating until the time when you decide to get married.
Oh.
Wow.
So whoever want to go
That's
first?
loaded, Darcy.
Woo!
That's a loaded question there, brother.
Yes, I want you to give it. I want you to give it.
That's good. You want to start with the women or?
I'll start with the women. Patience. It's everything, because marriage is not, this fairy tale thing. We don't get married and we walk off into the sunset and it's just beautiful and oh my gosh, I'm in love. Like, it's really work. You work, you compromise, you sacrifice. It's like you go from being an individual to you have to be one with someone. You know what I'm saying? You have to compromise with someone. You know what I mean? And that's the hardest thing ever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We look at it and we think like it should be simple. It's really not. It's really not simple at all. You know what I mean? I think that most times when single people glean different marriages that they may look at or like, or oh, I like them, or they look like they're happy, or they look like they're this, it's because they're gleaming foundation. They're gleaming from everything we've been through, everything we've come out of, we've gone through, because those are the things that make us stronger and make us more connected and stuff like that. But surfacely, I think single people get the wrong idea, so they want to rush into it. And then when they get into it, a lot of times they make the wrong decisions because they're just trying to be married, And then you end up with, somebody that you just don't like, or you just don't get along with, or you're not compatible with, So that's like my biggest thing is patience. And another thing, Christian women need to date.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
There's this, I don't know if it's religion, I don't know what it is, but Christian women don't date. They have like these I don't know who set these rules in place. Like, you're not supposed to date.
Religion set up those rules. Yeah.
If you don't date, you don't even know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You have to, when you date people, that's how you figure out the things that you like, what you don't like, what you will put up with, what you won't put up with. You'll be surprised on the things that you thought you wouldn't put up with, and you meet someone and you be like, well, I kind of like him. I'll put up with that. That ain't so bad. Somebody else that may not be as attractive, as the other person, you'd be like, nah, I ain't putting up with that at all. So it's like you learn those different things about yourself. Like, man, I thought I was, first thing you learn that you're very shallow. And that the list that you had growing up as a girl, oh, he's got to be tall, and he's got to be handsome and light-skinned, and he's got to drive this, and he's got to make this much money.
You said tall.
I'm just talking about, like...
In general.
In general, not my list.
All right.
No. I'm just saying. But you will realize how shallow your list is, and you'll start, you'll start understanding, like, man, that really wasn't me. That was like this fairy tale thing. But if you don't date, you don't find out who you are. So that whole thing of thinking that Mr. Right is going to come up and knock on the door like, hey, I'm here, marry me, that's not real. That's not a real thing. That's not realistic. If you don't date, you don't find out who you are. And you don't find out what you want. So that's my spiel for single women.
Yeah.
Wow, I like that.
Like,
I like that.
Test drive the car, but don't go to the car wash.
What?
This dude.
Y'all can figure that out. Test drive the car, but don't get the car washed.
Not get the car washed.
Until you own it.
That's dumb.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, man. So what about you? A single man.
Single man.
Somebody looking for his wife.
A single man out looking for his wife, man. The first thing I would say is, wow.
Be honest, man. Be honest. Go ahead.
That's number one, man. You got to get yourself together first, man. For real. Like, the last thing you want to do is have a wife and have a family and be a grown man having little boy problems. A grown man having little boy problems, can't keep a job, getting locked up over this, that, spending your money on weed or whatever, And, it's a process, though. But I'm saying, go through your process, before you attach a family to it.
Yeah.
Begin to see the vision for your life. Begin to map out your mission. You know what I mean? Because when this comes and those little ones come, it's a whole nother ball game. And it's not about what you just see on TV, like my wife said. Everything is not a fairy tale. It's real life, man. You're going to either look at them babies eating Cheetos for dinner, or you're going to see them with some chicken and some mashed potatoes and all that. You know what I mean? But it's on you. It's on you.
Yeah.
So, you know, I would say, man, take your time, complete yourself. One thing Pastor Dollar teaches, man, is come to your marriage complete. You know what I'm saying? So she comes complete and I come complete. Now we have a whole situation. We talk about whole life excellency. You know, whole life excellence, even in your marriage. How does that happen? By she's coming to the table complete, I'm coming complete, and we then move forward together in agreement. So, men, work on yourself, man. Not just on your biceps and triceps. Work on yourself. You know,
I like that. Good. That's good. Okay, we got a few more questions already, man.
What's up, people in the chat room? Let's get it.
Thierry asked, can you give him 3 keys to a better marriage?
3 keys to, I got one off top. Learn to agree. The power of agreement. When we decided to agree, and matter of fact, I'm gonna give a real life example of the power of agreement with us. You know, we talking about we're in the industry and all this good stuff. One day we decided, or we heard from God, to no longer base our life on possible circumstances or possible, what's the other word, opportunities. Because in the industry, you know, a lot of opportunities come along, circumstances come along, this can happen, hey, I'm talking to this person flew to LA and talked to this person, and then this person came over here, and now you're basing your life on the opportunity, on the circumstance. We decided, you know what, we know what God has for us is for us. We trust and believe that, and we agree at this time that we're going to try to have a baby. Now, the moment we came into agreement, now this is crazy, you know what I'm saying? And this is no honor to me. I'm just saying the moment we came into agreement, literally, it only took one time. Literally, the same week, she missed her next cycle. Literally. And we felt like that was one of God's confirmations of saying, hey guys, when you come into agreement on something, conception happens.
Yeah.
And when you conceive and you walk it, then you birth. So the power of agreement between two people saying, hey, we're going to tackle this life together. We're going to walk through circumstances no matter what, and we're going to face this life and everything that it has together and in agreement. I think that's one. I'll just say that's one key to hang on the rack. Is agreement. This person asked for 3 keys.
3.
So that's 1.
Oh,
okay.
You got another one?
Nah, you know, just go ahead. I mean, you know. 2. What do you feel? Marriage. What have you?
I would say. I don't know if agree is the same as compromise.
Yeah, it's important. Compromise is important. Yes.
You have to learn how to compromise. Yeah. Compromising doesn't feel good. It doesn't. You know, compromise does not feel like cheesecake and ice cream. Compromise hurts your feelings sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
So compromise is a big thing in marriage. You have to be able to agree to disagree.
That was it.
You know?
That's good. That's good. That's exactly what I was going to say.
And
next.
sometimes disagreeing is not a bad thing. It just shows your individuality. It shows, you know, certain things that are your differences about each other, which is a good thing. That's not a bad thing. To disagree is not a bad thing. It just shows that you're 2 different people and you have 2 different ideas about a thing, but by the end of the day, if you disagree, then you agree to disagree and you keep it moving. So I would say compromise.
Okay, good. Two. And what was the last one?
We got agreement, we got compromise, and I'm gonna throw respect into the hat.
Respect. Yeah.
You know what? And personally, I'm gonna say this: when I learned to respect my wife as an individual, and I learned to respect her for who she is and not who I wanted her to be, things got a lot easier.
They really did.
Because one thing about, you know, even walking in business together, and even her being an artist and me being in a management position, those are two lines. First of all, those are two worlds that are very different. Managing an artist and then being married to a wife are two different scenarios.
Conflict of interest.
Now, what I had to do is I had to learn to respect my wife for who she was and not try to push my aspirations of her artistry in our personal marriage. And I know that may sound crazy, but a lot of times, you know, the way I live my life, I'm very self-motivated. I'm very goal-oriented. I'm very write it down, check off the list. This is next. This is next. This is next. And my wife is very well. She's very structured, but she's very she's different. She works inside, and sometimes I can't see where she is externally. So I would try to push my external face onto her. And it didn't work. It was like oil and water. So once, and again, God spoke to me in the bathroom. He said, Brian, stop pushing your agenda on your wife.
Yeah.
Respect her for who she is. As an individual, as a person who feels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that would be our third key. So we have agreement, we have compromise, and we have respect.
Wow, so powerful. I have another question. I'll start answering that question, you know, while I was freestyling, but, you know, I will give it back to you. Could you give us some insight on having kids change the dynamic of your marriage?
You said how did kids change the dynamic?
Yes, of a marriage.
It definitely brought it brought a whole nother side to marriage, because when kids came along, it's like you get to see I got to see him in a different way when it comes to discipline, you know, when it comes to rewarding, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of things I think that we miss when it comes to kids. It's a respect thing again, like we did before, because a lot of times, you know, as women, I would think we're a little more emotional, you know, than men are when it comes to our kids. So I may not agree with how his disciplinary action is, and so it affects us in our marriage because I disagree with how you're disciplining our son, you know what I'm saying? Or I disagree with how you're disciplining, you know, our daughter or something like that. But I have to, you know, we have to understand, well, I had to understand that there's roles, you know what I'm saying? The father has a role as a parent, you know what I'm saying? And the mother has a role as a parent.
Big role.
And I realized that they have to coexist at the same time. It's very important to have the disciplinary and then have the nurturer. Because if you don't have the both operating at the same time, there's an imbalance in your kids. So I had to humble myself, you know what I'm saying, and submit in that area, because I would cause a lot of the conflict, you know what I'm saying, after the disciplinary action. Then we would get into it, you know what I'm saying, it was just like a whole, you know, like, because after he disciplined our son or something, then he comes in there and then I have this attitude like, what? Why'd you do that? That was too much. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? You know? Then we argue about it. It's just like, oh my God, this is never-ending situation. But I had to understand that when my son gets disciplined, and afterwards he can come to me as the nurturer, and I can, you know what I'm saying, talk to him about things or hug him or get, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. Not that he doesn't do that, but there's a balance and there has to be there are defined roles when it comes to parenting.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing that came into our lives that we really had to, you don't think about that. There's no manual. Like, you hear that all the time just from your parents or your grandparents. Like, there's no manual on parenting. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't come with instructions. They have very different personalities. You know what I'm saying? So, there's a lot of things that you learn even with disciplining them. You learn, like, what things work, what doesn't work. Just for example, our son responds more to physical labor. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't like boot camp. You know what I'm saying?
And I love boot camp.
So he puts him through military boot camp training, you know what I'm saying, when he gets disciplined. That's the area that we knew that he didn't like. He doesn't like punishment. So it's like, you know what I mean, in certain kids, you have to know your kids. You have, spend time with your kids. You have to know their personalities, even to discipline them. You know what I mean? Like, so that's stuff that we had to learn. And it's an ongoing thing because your kids are growing, they're changing, we have a 10-year-old and we have a 3-year-old right now, and then one on the way. So they're drastically different. They're two different people.
Very different.
So it's like even just our 3-year-old, we're learning things about her that we're seeing now. That when we see them at 10, we see her certain personalities that are there now. When they come out at 10. We've got a whole other situation that, that we both have to walk together on.
Thank you for the blood of Christ.
Thank you for the blessing.
Because that one right there.
He has to cover us.
That one right there.
Because
now let me say this. Now her dynamic that changed with kids was pretty deep.
Yeah.
Mine is very simple. Mine is the fact that I'm gonna tell you how a kid can change the dynamic of your marriage, fellas. When you got that 3-year-old sleeping in your bed.
Yes, I can relate to that. Yeah.
See, I work all day and throughout the night sometimes, but I get tired and I fall asleep. But when that 3-year-old can stay up later than you, and you trying to wait her out, go to bed, go to sleep, and she won't go to sleep.
Yeah.
The dynamic of your marriage has changed.
It has changed.
Yeah.
We need Jesus to get her out. I don't know. We just gotta pray about it because she's definitely messing up some stuff.
Yes. We still got that one in though.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna, do this again. We're gonna do it the right way. Keep the baby in their own bed.
Yeah.
Because that definitely changes a lot too. Because you've got this bridge in the middle of you as you're sleeping, and then you got to make different trips, to different places in the house, trying to lock them out and do different creative stuff to at least.
And that part's cool. But
But
the general thing.
The general.
Okay, yeah.
It sucks.
No, but it's so great, man, what you guys were saying. So we have another question from Leroy Glover. They ask, what advice would you give a singer or a hip-hop artist, or when they should hire a manager?
Oh, man.
When they should hire a manager.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Part of me says you should have somebody you trust in your corner to handle your personal business affairs right from the beginning. Because as an artist, you want to be able to concentrate on your craft and perfecting what you're pursuing artist-wise. So I would say from the beginning you should have someone entrusted in that management role, even if that's in the interim. But I would say from the beginning, man, get your team put together from the beginning. There's no reason to wait in getting the team in place.
I think others would contradict and say once you kind of know what you're doing, you kind of established and who you are as an artist and what you're trying to do and accomplish, because sometimes management can be financial. You may have to pay a manager. Not everybody has the the luxury to have someone close to them that knows business, that knows the music business and things like that. So you may have to hire someone, and when you're starting out, you don't necessarily have the funds to hire a manager. You're trying to get some studio time, So I guess that's kind of like a double-edged sword,
Definitely two
The good
answers.
part, you know, about it is, you know, you could have, you know, great people around you. Everybody that's around you is in the business, and then, you know, and you can build a substantial team. But if it's just you and you have this great passion, I think that it's important that you build your brand, you know, like we talked about before, and establish your lane. What are you trying to accomplish, so that when you go to a manager, you could present something to them that makes them feel as if you are a commodity and that you will make money, because that's how they make money. So if they feel like they can take your product straight out into the streets and make money, they're going to do that hands down. You know what I mean? So I guess it's like a double-edged sword.
It is. It's a double-edged sword, man.
That's so powerful. That's so great.
Yes.
And now that's a question, you know, for myself. What is next for you guys from your label and project? And if somebody want to work with you, you know, what's next?
Wow. Well, I'll say this, and this is an exclusive right here, live with Darcy. This coming Tuesday, I will be dropping an exclusive song, which has every single one of Historical ENT's artists with a verse. And I want the listeners to actually give feedback on who their favorite artist is off of this song. The song is The Definition. It'll drop Tuesday. So that's one way I want everybody involved, you know what I'm saying, because it's going to give us some great feedback. And I'm very passionate about every single one of my artists on the label, and every one of those verses on that song are killer, but I want to kind of hear from the people what they feel. Now, project-wise, we definitely have the compilation coming out from the label. Everybody's working. Ironic is working on an album. Glow's working on an album. T. Prissy's, you know, she's writing right now. She got some tracks in from multiple producers, and some great stuff happening. Corinne's project, first of all, she has 2 projects right now on the table. The Opener, which we actually released video, Memories of December, on Christmas. Sometime we released that. But her album is called Past Famous, and that is still due to drop as soon as this baby is, I'm sorry, not this baby. As soon as our lovely little child has been birthed, we're going to get moving on that, you know what I mean? Shout out to Baca, you know, he produced at least, I think, at this point, like 85% of that album, and it's crazy. So if y'all need tracks, holla at Baca, man. I'll plug him all day. But everybody, Camille, her mixtape is done. Refocus, Camille has another situation coming up as well. She's writing. Just good stuff, man. Great people. We're working with great people. We're working with great artists. We're working with, you know, we're blessed to be working with some legends in the game right now who's really giving a lot of great input into our situation, and really, you know, we got some people vested right now. So it's a blessing, man, and we thank God for it.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Before I ask you another question, there's somebody said, I let them know that Chip is ready to tune in.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chip, man. That's my brother cousin. What's up, man?
Just tune in, you know, just to let you know.
I mean.
But that's great. But before, you know, we have, it's 10 o'clock now, but like I told you before, off camera, you know, Corinne, people know that you sing. So do you have a few seconds, like, you know, can you drop a note for us?
Really? You know what, Darcy?
Yeah.
Since we're live, now you can really
now
slip
you're
it in
gonna
there.
put me on a spot.
How about, I'm sorry. You see, I was like, how about this? I was playing. Sing whatever you like. Love.
Oh. What should I sing?
Sing the warm-up.
I'll sing this song I use when I warm up. This is the song I use anytime that I warm up. If I go to the studio, I sing this to warm up. If I'm at a show before sound check, I warm up to this. So this is my warm-up song. All right? You ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. Over and over again, over and over again, you proved yourself to be the only friend I need. I can never thank you enough for all the things you've done for me. I don't know how much time I'll have. That's why I wanted to take the time to say thank you for choosing me to be in your favor. Thank you for blessing me. over and over again. When I was deep in sin, you forgave me and took me in. You gave me peace within. Since that day, my life has changed, and forever I'll remain indebted to you, shedding your blood on Calvary just for me. Oh, so that's what I sing to warm up.
Restore.
Wow. Okay. So you see, guys, take some notes. Make sure that you will see her everywhere very soon. We got a powerful oil machine behind everything that we are doing. And guys, I'm telling you, what we are doing this is for you guys. We're not doing this to get famous. We just want to make sure that people who are tuning can have their life transformed. That's why I'm choosing always some different couple from different angle, because it's not, I just want to have a typical answer for your relationship. Just give it to the Lord. This is way more deeper than that. Give it to the Lord. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. It was a great time that I have, and I believe that people really enjoy themselves. They can catch the replay. It's going to be available in less than 10 minutes.
Nice.
Awesome.
So people can watch it again, and you can share the link with your audience. Do you have any last words for people?
Man, again, we appreciate you for having us on. Again, it's a great pleasure to be in the company of the great couples that you've had on before. Hey, guys, me and Corinne, we're definitely working on some things as a unit. Mm-hmm. We are working on a book about our life story. Mm-hmm. It gets a lot deeper, the water gets a lot more muddy. But it's a story of grace. It's a story of unconditional love. And, we want to share that with the world. And I think it'll be a blessing to everyone who reads it. So be on the lookout for that. Mm-hmm. Just an honor, man. And my beautiful wife here with me. It's just amazing. Go ahead.
And Suna, what is your website again?
RestoricalENT.com.
Okay. And what about your Facebook, Twitter, and all that?
Corindiana on everything.
On everything, Corindiana.
On everything, Corindiana. Find me on RestoricalENT.com. Just email me there, connect with me there, and we'll get it popping. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And go ahead.
Oh, I just want to thank you again. Thanks for having us. I think it's just a blessing to be able to speak to people in this through the internet. And online. It's a powerful thing, and I'm just honored that that we were one of the couples that you chose.
Yeah, man.
Glory to God. Glory to God.
We have great things in store. So much coming your way, and we're just so honored for the people who tuned in. Shout out to them, and the people who didn't. They'll get to see the recording.
Okay. Great visit. Jessica, she said that love Corinne's voice. And it said Brian is probably on social media shouting her out.
What's up? You already know.
and Sly said that.
Been singing live.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. And Sly said that. So she gonna stop like this? What a great voice. You have to go catch her single on iTunes. Trade it all. Available right now.
Check it out.
Trade it all. iTunes.com. Yes.
Yes.
Pick that up.
Check out the whole label. RestoricalENT.com, man. Everybody.
That's it. All right, guys. So thank you so much. Tune in. I'll have another one in July. I'm gonna announce the date before midnight, and the couple that I'm gonna be on in July. It's gonna be the second week of July. And until then, catch me on social media. Everything's on the screen. Darcy Ogandaga everywhere. The laws of the internet.com. Twitter on media. Bye.
Lyrical miracle, making visual hits. Second guess yourself and put the numbers on the shelf. Take a rest, the best is now present, take a chair. More important, coming in, pouring. Like thunderstorms, you've been misinformed. We are not the norm, what's spectacular? So y'all acting up, get on the next thing, smoking till you're packing, bro. Take over, no jigging, man. Put the figures in. And see that we running it funny, bit serious. Y'all let E. Murphy delirious, living in y'all straight sweating. Bringing the heat like Miami. King James and that scripture. Let it breathe, not spitting these lines. Some shit on the beach, got people to reach. On top like a peak, y'all peeking in. Y'all classes stepping, steady repping where you ain't live. Allow us to show you what it really is. Taking off the mask and get real. Word on empty, we all to refill. Can't corrupt the incorruptible. Flows get so that's multiple. Multiply, he historical. And that's my team, we coming through.
How am I in over my head when the galaxy's on my shoes? Born to win, I promise I never lose. See, I lost the old me. A lot of y'all knew me, few of you know me. Truth is that the new me is more me than I ever been. I remember times when I was so influenced by my friends. Those friends now are gone, made me think that they were fake. Maybe I was fake for switching up and doing my own thing. See, these rappers is fronting from the back while I'm backing up at the front. That's me refusing to roll as the chosen one. See, I ain't been the one to follow scripts, but God's a playwriter. Who am I to play him? Can't be complacent. Who am I to stay here? All this blood and this sweat. Tell me, where are my tears? See, this survival of the fittest. It ain't meant for the freshest. Dreams weighing on my mind, so to me that's so precious.
I'm outstanding, I'm standing out from the blasphemous. Try to find a blemish in my image, I'm a perfectionist. More knowledge is power, I'm probably what a professor is. Raised in the jungle, but humble, tougher than leopard skin. So prevalent, the repertoire accelerating. Competitive, a double kill is deafening. We line them up, then knock them off. Rack up the wins, banging on the door. Mazel tov, go and let them in. Philanthropists can't keep us under a summer. We come to heat up the summer, nevertheless had a come up. Runners, hunger, conquer, slunder. Unpredictable like a horoscope. I solicit rhetorical. Then take sale with 100 on fleet and come back with 100 times 3, then 100 times 3, then 100 times 3. I'm out of your league, I'm a chief compete. Can't tell when the pendulum swings. The allegations, I'm waiting on beef. It's the Appalachian ahead of my peak. I resort to a suite on Panama Beach.
Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Hulk. You a comic if you think I'm ever coming up. Show 5'3" is my stature, so I'm standing kinda small. But I'm tall enough to stack this couple million over y'all. My mama gave this world a present, but she ain't rapping presents. But now the game, thanking God that my rapping present. I am legend, there's only one left of me. Reppin' R.E. till the death of me. Turn up till the knob broke. I spit a hot 16 till you smell smoke. It's getting hot in here. Nelly in the booth. The only shots I don't make, the ones I don't shoot. My only competition is another me in front of me. I pass the torch to myself, I'm out running me. You think you gunning me? You better load up. You brought a knife to the fight, you shouldn't have showed
I am
up.
the master of the rhythmatic. Come and attack it, sucker MCs panic when they hear G on the MIC. Spazzing on these bumping, dumping tracks like a NASCAR, fast car, going in on the tracks. Or maybe I'm just something like a gun without the safety on. Pen in hand, grenade flow, where I just be dropping bombs. Better make way, cause here I come. Mr. Drop them bombs for fun. Just turned 21, about to hit the ball of success with my team and get drunk. Intoxicated with making major moves, moving majorly, making these haters see how that hating awakens me. I am a son of God, the earth waits patient for the manifestation of my whole team. We are the manifestation of God's dreams. Tell the oracle we the ones. Bless 3, historical, restoring in the states and overseas. Who are we?
We are Historical Entertainment. RestoracalENT.com. Welcome to the new renaissance. It's the definition. Major independent. Let's go.